Yeah, welcome to Senior Info. We're at the gym,
Nice.
but
Lifting some weights.
Kelly is not here because Kelly's a little bit
Aw.
under the weather this week. But she'll be back to normal. She'll be back next month.
Well, we miss
But
seeing
our
her.
guests are here. Kathy Clark from Moxie Mobility and Jeff Sturges from the Mass Senior Games.
Correct, yeah,
Yes.
Massachusetts Senior Games.
Yes, we can't call it the Olympics because you get in trouble for that.
Yeah, no,
That's trademark.
yeah,
But it's similar.
it certainly was set up to be similar, yeah.
Yeah. But they both were here before, actually about this time last year.
I think so, yeah.
And Davis was going to come in, Davis Cox, but he's got a problem too.
Well, he's a little older than we are, but he's very active, but he is dealing with some health issues right
Yeah.
now, but he remains very active within the senior games, both,
Unbelievable how active he is.
you know, as an officer and all, you know,
Yeah.
as a director, but also as an athlete and,
Yeah.
you know, participate in many of the events.
Many of them, yeah.
Yeah,
And his new one being shuffleboard.
yeah.
He told me
I
how.
think he's tackling basketball too.
Yes,
So, yeah.
yes.
And you can see Davis, he's doing a lot of outreach right now. So if you see him around town, he might be out there at the health fairs and other things to kind of drum up some business for us, get more people involved with the games.
Yes, he lives and eats and sleeps the mass games.
He's passionate about it, no question.
Yeah. But anyway, we want to talk about mobility, and you want to stay looking young, you want to stay feeling young, stay mobile.
Absolutely.
And best way is get involved with the senior games. Become an athlete again, especially if you were an athlete in the past.
Well, that was one of the things. Like I played soccer, and I was on under 30 league and under 40 league, and there wasn't an under 50 league, so we were playing with the under 30s and under 40s, and it was it was getting a little tough to keep up. They
Yeah.
played the sport a little different than we did, and so when I moved down to the South Coast, I actually stopped because I couldn't find another place to play soccer. So fast forward almost 10 years now, I now know that I can find other places to play and keep going as long as I want to keep playing it, which I think is so amazing and
Well,
exciting.
you're trying to get the mass senior games down there on the South Shore.
I am.
Right?
I'm working on expanding our way to, because right now we're kind of, Springfield's our central location.
Right.
There's a lot of things Western Mass, so if you're out there, look Western Mass for all our different sports. Worcester's kind of coming a little farther east. We did have a pickleball tournament in Natick.
Yes.
We just had badminton in Westboro
Yeah.
last weekend, I think. Yep.
Pickleball has been very popular, you know, in
Pickleball
sort
is-
of the greater Boston area because
it's gone
our
crazy.
chairman is, you know, they call Dennis the mayor of pickleball in Marlboro, and it's grown considerably there. And Kathy's been heavily involved in some of the introduction type things that events that senior games have held. So it's probably worthwhile going over that a little bit, Kath,
Yes.
in terms of what you did and what those events were to introduce people that were unfamiliar with senior games to some of
Sure.
those events.
So our games coordinator, Joni Simmons, created this new event, Sports Clinic. So it's 6 sports that we held an event in Wilbraham, and then we went to Wareham. So somehow the W's towns are getting all the stuff.
A lot of ham.
We're
Quite
getting
a
the hams.
distance between them now.
Quite a distance. But what it did is it introduced older adults to 6 new sports, so they could come out and try to see what these are like before they just dive into something. But we had, I'm going to see if I can remember them all, we had basketball, power walking, pickleball, cornhole, shuffleboard, and disc golf. And we introduced those to, people that wanted to learn more about it. And some people had known pickleball, but it was kind of cool to learn what other sports were out there and just to try new games. And why not have some fun? Come on down, try it out. The basketball skills, we have basketball, like a team sport basketball, but then we also have basketball skills, which is similar to like playing horse, where you take different shots from different, places around the key and get scored different ways for that.
That's
so that
good,
was
so you
kinda
don't
neat.
necessarily have to have a team to participate in that one then.
Right, right. And what I love is that we have high impact sports and we have low impact sports. And I do believe there are, with the national games, we even have wheelchair level sports. Not so much, we haven't, being smaller right now, we don't really have sports like that, but I think we could look into seeing how to make some of these events more accessible so we could have some more sports. I don't know, skiing, do you do wheelchair skiing?
I'm familiar with that, but there hasn't been much demand for that up there. Although there are a couple people who will be up there with a guide and on a chair type ski with outriggers and will enjoy their skiing.
Yeah, and so if anybody's out there and want to start some, it's not that we're saying no, we just haven't really had, like you're
Yeah.
saying, the demand for the sport yet too. But there are those type of sports in the national games.
Sure. Well, as far as the winter games are concerned, Kath and Harry, it was originally just the skiing, and typically two events: a two-run giant slalom and a one-run super G. But it was only for skiers, and then we started having people that were participating in the NASTAR program at Wachusett who are using snowboards, and they've developed racing snowboards now for
wow.
that, and so
Snowboard's getting bigger than skiing.
it's huge, no question about it. Worldwide,
Right.
So
Right.
so that
It's in the
is
Olympics now.
yep, absolutely, both
Oh, an
for
extreme-
speed and for trick type stuff
Yeah.
and aerials and so on. Yeah.
Which is so neat to watch that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, again, it's playing. Like, sports are meant to be played. Like, we're supposed to have fun playing them, right?
Now, do you do anything else with the winter sport? Do you have tobogganing or?
So far, it's just the skiing. That's
Okay,
interesting.
no
We should,
skating.
hasn't been ice hockey. Yeah.
Yeah, we have hockey.
You have hockey, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to,
Oh, did you go to the hockey event in Worcester?
yes.
Did Davis drag you to that? He
Yeah,
talks
that was
up all over.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, these are guys in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, and they're flying around that ice.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
You wouldn't know their age unless until you see what their face
Until they
looks
take
like.
the-
Until
yeah,
they
the
take the
helmets
helmet
and
off,
then
then you're
face
like,
paint, yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
what?
It's
It's-
unbelievable.
I will tell you, softball was like that. We had a tournament, a softball tournament. Was it August? I forget. Sometime in August. I forget how many teams we had, but we had teams from the Cape. We had some players from Rhode Island. Like, we had all these people come in and play in this softball tournament. It was so neat to see. And I will tell you, they were stealing bases, like diving for catches, hitting home runs. It was really inspiring to watch. People 75 plus they still got it and still running around. It was very inspiring.
Yeah, I've seen people, that are very active and they go well into their 80s, and when they can't do it anymore for some reason, something might happen. That's when they end up losing it and probably passing away.
Yeah, what I love too is there were some players that had different medical diagnoses that slowed them down, like maybe Parkinson's or something. But what they were doing is they were helping keep score. So they were still involved
Yeah.
and they were still on the team, but they were just doing it in different capacities, volunteering somehow, rooting on, it was just
But that's
really
important
great.
from a mental standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're still part of the team, like you say, and you're still participating in the sport.
Yep.
Well, it's a way to stay engaged and make sure you get out of
Yeah.
the house, and
Yes.
because a part of all of this is to the camaraderie aspect of it.
Yes.
And as I mentioned, particularly in the skiing, yeah, we're competing against another, but we're really competing against the clock, and we're certainly encouraging our fellow competitors to be able to do their best.
Now, do you travel to the summer events?
I haven't so far, because
I know Davis does.
Yeah, Davis participates very heavily, yeah. I'm typically involved in other sports that are other than the senior games type
Right.
thing, so.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
have a winter, senior Olympic.
No, the nationals don't include winter sports so
Right.
far, because I guess one of the reasons is they're trying to be all-inclusive in terms of all the different states.
Right.
And obviously, in the Northeast, we've got plenty of ski areas and places where we could do that.
Right.
But, if you're in the southern states, there's not too
Here-
much in the
yeah.
way of,
Arizona might have a little trouble with
yeah,
that.
yeah. But, and they try to move the national games around to different places too,
Right.
every 2 years. So,
Yeah, I know Davis wanted to get into Boston.
yeah, we have worked on that. I think I've got some notes here in terms of where the future senior game events are gonna be held, the nationals, that is. And,
The thing is, you have to have a lot of, you have to have colleges that'll participate, because you need the facilities.
Yeah, where was it in, the last one was just in Des Moines, Iowa. Was that at a college?
well, yes, in 25, it was in Des Moines. In 27, it's due to be in Tulsa, and in 29, in Birmingham, Alabama. So, but, yeah, not big ski areas in those areas.
No,
And that's why, it's usually held in the summer too, so, but I know Davis in particular has worked hard to try to get something going in the greater Boston area. But it takes a lot of facilities and stuff too,
Yes.
so maybe, maybe as a result of the World Cup coming here to Boston, we'll see some growth in
something
terms
could
of some
happen,
of that
yes.
sort of thing, yeah.
So
thing
anybody
is,
out there who is in a college and wants to have the Mass Senior Games, give us a call.
yeah. The thing, it draws quite
Or
a amount of
national.
people, well into the thousands.
Oh, the
National
senior
games?
games, the
Yeah.
nationals?
12,000?
It does, and cities will bid against each other to get it because of the tourist revenue that it brings
Yeah.
in terms of hospitality, restaurants and hotels,
Yeah, and it lasts over a number of weeks, it's not just one quick event.
It's not just one quick event, typically, yeah, it's about a week-long type thing, I think it is.
Which it may
Yeah.
even, like, coming in might turn into almost 2 weeks, like with people
Yeah, I think
coming
it's like
in to
about
get
2 weeks
prepped
long
and,
by the
yeah.
time they get through
Yeah.
everything, because all the different sports they have.
Yep,
And what, I think 12,000 people at the last one?
That's about right
think
from what I
think
understand, yeah.
that's what I
That's pretty
understood.
amazing when you think
Yeah.
about that. And we're not talking spectators, we're talking participants.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, the way it works is you need to be the best in your state,
Right.
to qualify for those. And then the state will, you'll compete against other states and the best in those other states in these events.
And there's no reason why we can't do Boston, we're an athletic community up here,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
big sports, community.
Absolutely.
Got the #1 marathon in the world.
It might be really good in Worcester. I mean, we'll bring it to
Worcester would be
Massachusetts.
great,
Worcester would
and
be-
there's enough colleges in Worcester that you could work it out
Mhm.
with the fields that you could use.
We don't have to scare everybody with our traffic in Boston.
Right,
Just kidding.
but anyway,
Yeah.
you teach mobility,
I do. That's
and
what,
that's
yeah.
part of mobility, is getting out there and being active.
Absolutely. So we do personal training, trying to get people at home to be more accountable and to get the mobility going. We have some balance classes where we teach play again. We bring agility courses in, so it's dynamic balance where you're stepping over hurdles and we actually do climbing through tunnels and getting up and off the floor, like all those things and make it fun,
Yeah,
And so I started, and now it's like such a perfect avenue, like, hey, you're getting up and you're moving more, now what? Like every time it's a now what, right? I became an accessible travel agent because people wanted to travel. We just launched a travel prep course because I'm so sad to hear my clients saying, oh, I can't go to my, son's for the holidays because I can't get off the toilet, I can't get up the stairs. And I'm like, well, now you can. Let's get practicing and do it because I want ultimately to go play games, right? Go have fun, get out,
the
go
idea
do
is
things.
you gotta say, don't say I can't,
Right.
Because if you do that, you won't be able to.
Or you can say, I can't yet. As
Yeah.
long as you add the yet to it, there's
Yeah.
always the possibility of it's going to come, right? And if it's what you want, go for it. Just go for it. Like, do it safely, do
The
it,
minute you
with
give
help.
in, the minute you give in is when you're gonna ruin yourself.
Right, because we don't know our expiration date.
Right.
And our longevity now is not in, early 80s like it used to be. I mean,
Well,
I've-
even elderly people look younger than they did when I was
yeah.
when I was a kid. I remember they looked a lot older than they do now. We look much younger.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're more fit.
Mm-hmm. For the most part, yes, for sure, because we're meant to move more. Like, things aren't all within our our one little area.
Right.
We're having to drive farther to go to doctor's appointments, and not so many doctors are doing house calls anymore. Even though we are trending back to that, which I think is amazing because we are living longer. So
Yeah.
if we get to the point we can't get out, it is nice to have people come in and do things.
Well, Harry, I think as we get older, our perspective on what old is changes too.
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. You don't think yourself as old.
No,
And aging I believe, is a state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
In many cases, you think you can't do it, then you won't.
Yeah, think to yourself, how old do I think I am, and then be that.
Yes.
Like, don't look in the mirror and say, oh, I look old, I must be. Like, I hear so many people that are in their 80s, and they're like, well, I can't do that because I'm 80, or I'm 80. And I'm like, so what? I have this one client, which this cracks me up, because every time she goes into the doctor's appointment, she has an ache or pain, and she asks him about it, and he's like, well, you are 91. And she's like, she told me, if he says that to me one more time, because she knows how old she is, and I said, well, why don't you ask him how old he is? Like, turn it around. Say, do you want to be reminded that you're so-and-so age? Because none of us want to. And why say that? Like, like she was 91 3/4 and about to be 92, but at 91 3/4 was only so many months ago. Why did all of a sudden things happen if she's now 92? So age is just a state of mind. It just, yes, things do tend to break down and change a little bit, but
So what was your your motto in terms of lotion and
motion is lotion.
There you go.
Motion is lotion.
Yep.
Keep moving.
Keep moving. You will see that all over the web, everywhere now. Like, it's kind of what rehab is it's our motto now. Motion is lotion. Just keep moving, because it lubricates so many things. It's great. Keeps you happy and circulation going, breathing better, edema down, like so many things just by moving around.
Keep your weight down.
Keeps your weight down.
Well, that's the great thing about the senior games, I think, is there's so many events that almost anybody can participate and find something that
Right.
they enjoy, and they can develop a reasonable proficiency with. And then the other folks that are participating are always very enthusiastic about new people joining, and very helpful in teaching them technique and so on and so forth, so that they can enjoy it as well. And that's
Right.
what it's about staying fit, it's about staying well, but mostly it's about developing new friends and helping them be successful, having fun.
Right, and that's what my company can do too. So if you feel like you can't quite get there yet, or you're nervous about it, we can come in, show you what you're made of, and then get you to go. And even if you want a partner to go, we can be the partner to go and check it out and introduce new people, and then link people up, and then our job is done.
Yeah. If anybody wants to get a hold of you, how would they do it?
My website is moximobilitytraining.com. My phone number is 508-450-6774. I encourage, if you have questions on the games, I am on the board for the Mass Senior Games
Yeah.
also. The Mass Senior Games email is info@maseniorgames.org. That's probably the best way to get us. I'm not sure if our phone number.
We've got a good website, yeah.
Yeah,
And
so-
it just, you go into Google Massachusetts Senior Games, and you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of information there. And I know Davis in particular has tried to get us involved in the various other social media type things as well.
Facebook for
I-
sure,
I'm-
yeah.
I confess I'm not as familiar with those things as I am, but our basic website is very good in terms of giving you all the information you'd ever want about the schedule for the events coming up, as well as a lot of photos of previous events, so you can sort of see everybody's having a great time doing all these
Yes.
different things.
Yes, we're having a cornhole tournament December 5th, so you can go on the website and register for that. I'm trying to think, there's another one coming up. I think we just had cycling. We just had badminton, we just had pickleball a couple months ago, softball tournament a
And
couple
these are
months
in
ago.
various places around the state,
Yes.
Yes.
so it's
Yeah.
not, you're not limited to one area.
No, and we're expanding more as we were talking about the new event clinics, like those, obviously Wilbraham to Wareham. We're trying to fill the middle a little more.
Yeah,
Pickleball was in Natick, badminton Westboro, softball Springfield. I don't know where cycling was.
I think it was in Northampton, does that ring a bell?
Sounds right.
Yeah, but a lot of times it depends, on where there's a venue suitable for it that's available. And then the other aspect is the event director, the champion for that particular sport or event.
Right.
A lot of times they're the ones that have the passion and do the recruiting to get their friends and know, where the things are. Like if it's archery or if it's basketball or, whatever it might be.
we gotta
Right.
find a facility where you can do that.
Exactly.
You know, we recently built a pickleball court here in Northbridge.
Okay.
It's so busy, the town had to develop an app.
Oh,
So
to
you could
sign
reserve
up.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's constantly going.
Yeah, pickleball's and it's been around, I think, since the 60s, so it's been
Small maybe
Small
since then, but
size,
it's
but
really,
lately.
it's in the
It blew
last
up
10
lately,
years, I
yeah.
think, is when it's really grown considerably. And,
Yes.
in Marlboro, for instance, we had some very nice town tennis courts, but they've
Yeah.
now been painted over and converted to
Pickleball.
pickleball because that's where the interest is, yeah.
The only problem now, they were gonna build another one, and it got rejected because the people in the neighborhood said, we don't want it there.
Well, it
it
is
is
a little bit
noisy.
noisy.
It is
And-
noisy.
And,
And there's a little
sometimes there's
heated
places
argument.
that put restrictions on how early you can start playing and
Yes.
how late
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
keep going. But
Yeah.
fortunately, the one in Marlboro is right in the middle of a large park area, and, it's easily accepted by the surrounding residents. And
I think what made it popular, it's more exciting than badminton, but not you don't have to work as hard as with tennis.
I kind of think of that like it's like regular soccer to indoor soccer. It's kind of tennis to pickleball. I mean, definitely different rules.
There are
and
definitely comparisons
yeah.
there, but,
Yeah.
it's a fast sport.
Yes.
But, a reaction sport, but it's also one that doesn't require the moving like you might have, that would tennis would require. So,
Right.
for older folks, it seems to work out very nicely.
I'm going to give everybody a tip out there. You do not run backwards in pickleball. It's a big no-no. It's all sideways or forwards. If
Yeah,
you
I
haven't
like
learned how to
tennis.
play, go learn how to play first and then jump in with competition, because it's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's such a great sport once you figure it out. So yeah.
It's very popular, like I said, it's just mushroomed. They
Yeah.
actually, a guy took over former, the Slater School in West Boylston. It was a huge, originally it was a supermarket. Turned the whole place into a indoor pickleball court.
I know. It's
And he's
just taken off.
constantly being used.
But how exciting is that? That it's like it's a sport. It's a sport that we can all do into 80s,
that's part of it,
90s,
too.
or
You can-
whatever, right?
yeah,
That
you
we can keep going, and there's not very many sports that you can say that where it's a fast-paced game, right?
Right.
and you feel good. And yeah, we actually, some of our clients are pickleball players that we teach them a little better balance to give them a little bit of an edge on people. But it's really about balance and posture, and so, so having really good body mechanics normally, and then go play with those, and then you can, it's a better
You brought up
experience.
a good subject there. In your field, you'd be familiar with that. Balance is a big problem for older people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm finding it kind of stems down. We have 6 rules that we talk about to help people stay balanced better. One is breathing. Somehow we stop breathing. We hold our breath a lot, or we're not taking big enough breaths to get enough oxygen into our muscles to work well. 2 is posture. Posture is such a big part of how we move that, just our heads forward a little bit, it starts adding like all the, I was just doing some research. 2 inches forward of your ears off your shoulders is like our head becomes from 8 to 12 pounds to almost 30 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 to 4 inches forward of like having that lean forward, it now becomes 50 pounds. So your little neck is trying to hold up all this weight, which all that translates into your back. And then we're wondering why we have back pain. Which if we really need to focus on our posture, like we all just kind of stood up straight, right? We need to
Thank
keep
you,
those
Kathy.
ears over our shoulders and
Yeah,
shoulders
that's
over our
interesting. Never
hips,
thought
right?
about that.
Yeah, and it's all about how we move. So it's the posture, but it's also, number 3 is base of support. How wide are we keeping our feet? Like, we don't have to keep them very wide, but if we're walking really narrow and not swinging our arms when we're walking, bad things happen. Like, we're not counterbalancing our walking, which walking is controlled falling. So keeping your legs narrow makes you a bowling pin. Keeping your arms not moving, now you're a bowling pin who is going to be off balance. So we need to stay a little wider and swing our arms. And I'm finding just those things are enough.
Well, I know you played basketball some, Kathy, and now that I think about it, when I play pickleball, the stance that I'm using is much like a defensive stance in playing basketball. And the movement you talk about, it's a shuffle side to side, shuffle back, shuffle forward. It's not running back in tennis, occasionally you had to do that. If you were up at the net and all of a sudden you get lobbed, you can't shuffle back, then you're running
Nope,
back.
you're running
But
backwards.
the pickleball court is small enough that the same type of movement that you would be familiar with in basketball and some other sports like that too, is what you would use.
Right, and it's the difference of being like here versus being here. Like, just those shoulders back do so much to keep us more balanced and on our feet better and able to pivot and move in that game ready position we talk about, like what you're saying. In pickleball, it's a straight back, but you're kind of piked a little bit at the hips, your feet are apart, and you're kind of ready to go. That's what we all need to do a lot of the time, not just for sports. If we're walking, it's not obviously as piked forward, you're a little more tall, but it's all about those shoulders back and down and how our arms are moving. I don't think people realize how much our arms keep us balanced, because we all look at our legs, right?
Right.
But that top half of us, if we're in the proper posture, like think about someone playing in the marching band, right? How do they keep that mouthpiece or that from bouncing around, breaking their teeth and nailing them in the eye? How they do it is they set their shoulders back and down. They engage all of the muscles in our natural corset that we have around our trunk, and then they just lock that in.
So you telling us you're a musician too, Kathy?
I may have dabbled in the French horn. I did, and my high school was, they were #1 nationally for marching band, which I never got that far. I liked soccer way better than marching band. But I did in junior high, they did throw us into the marching band in the Memorial Day parade, where we were kind of prepping for the high school band. And I learned how to do that. And it's so funny, like all your little things that you've learned through your life, like how they somehow come together all in one moment. And this company that I have, like, this is all of the things that I've learned, like I worked in a shoe store, I now know how to fit shoes and do footwear, like the marching band thing. But yeah, it's really comes down to how our upper half works, and if we have shoulder problems, we're not swinging our arms properly to counterbalance our gait, and if those shoulders tend to be forward, well, now we're having shoulder pain because they've been out of position for so long. And it even happened to me in my Jeep. I had like bucket seats, and I was starting to play paddleball. Well, I realized I'm a soccer player. I am not really a paddleball player because my arms are not so strong. But the combination of using them where I was more rounded from the bucket seats in my Jeep keeping me forward, I ended up going to therapy myself to fix my shoulders
Oh,
because
wow.
they were just out of place. And I learned that
Yeah.
keeping them back and down and then moving properly like that solved a lot of my problems. So
Oh, that's amazing. Well, when you went to march in the military, they tell you shoulders back.
yes, very
Display your
efficient.
arms. So there's something there. I mean, they realize that.
I love my clients that have been in the military because I say, how did you learn to march in the military? And everybody immediately goes into that position.
Yeah.
I even had a guy who was like, "Oh, I really want to get rid of this cane. I don't want to walk with this cane." And I was saying, "Well, how did you march?" And he meant like this, and he was like totally messing around, but he didn't even realize he wasn't using the cane as he was like being sassy pants walking around his house marching. And I'm like, "Okay, problem solved." But then
Yeah. You
but
don't
he
need the cane. See?
but he didn't believe me and immediately went back to how he was walking normally and needed a cane. So, if you're a veteran, use that training. It's going to help you for the rest of your life. So, yeah.
When you talk about a cane, I was using a cane for a while because my arthritis was flared up, and I said, I really want to do this. I got rid of it, and I haven't used it for a long time now. Now and then I might. If I get up in the middle of the night, have to go to the bathroom. Sometimes I'm a little dizzy when I first get up.
Is that why you were using the cane? Was it the dizziness?
No, my legs, I couldn't. I just weren't right. My knees, but they've come around. Exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And a good arthritis doctor.
Please tell me you did exercise before you ditched the cane.
I did exercise before I did.
Okay. He
Yeah.
didn't just ditch the cane, he did exercise and then he got himself off the cane, right?
Yes.
Please don't just ditch canes and then think it's going to magically fix. You got to do some work in
No,
there.
you got to work at it.
That's great. That's great to hear, though, because there's a success story, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can't run, but
Well, you got off a cane. Like, that's
Right.
pretty significant.
I go for it. When the doctors do X-rays, they can't. No, I can't believe you're walking, because it's loaded with. Both my knees are loaded with arthritis. And they say, well, I don't want an operation. I want to be able to die with what I was born with, and I'm still going.
Good job. Very good.
Well, as a guy who retired from making boats, rowing shells, that is, I would recommend rowing for you. It's a great all-body workout,
Oh.
and it's no twisting and no shock on the knees like running would be, for instance.
Right, right.
So we've got a lot of people that can row relatively pain-free, and the Concept 2 machines in particular are, the indoor rowing is the same motion that you'd have on a boat, and that's, what I started with an indoor rower at a gym, and, I saw that I was fairly proficient at that, so that's what got me to, take a lesson in a boat and get out and doing that, and yes, among other things, I'm the former president of the Quinsigamond Rowing Club.
There you go.
Located out of the Donahue Rowing Center, and the first Saturday in June of every year, we have a Learn to Row session where we'll teach people the basics of rowing on a rowing machine. Another station will teach them the nomenclature on the boat. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll get them out in one of our eights with experienced rowers, because, you know, we don't want to throw 8 people that had never rowed before all together, but we'll intersperse the new people with experienced club members, so you can see what it's like to get out in an 8 and move it, and then you know, try in a single or one of the smaller boats if that's what you would prefer to learn how to do.
Oh, that's great. Good
Yes,
to know. Yeah.
How long do they last out there at Quincy now? They'll go right through the whole summer, right?
They'll start as soon as the ice is gone, and they'll
Yes,
keep
I was
going.
gonna say, I
and
thought it was as soon as, yeah,
They'll
as soon
they'll
as the
keep
ice
going
melted.
until, you know, ice again.
Yeah.
In my younger Stupider days, I rode at least one day every month of one of those years, and you know, it would happen to have been the beginning of December and then the end of January. Now, sometimes that lake freezes over and it's unavailable from December into the beginning of March. But you know, the colleges are very active out there, and
Yes.
as soon as you know, they can, the coaches will get out in their launches to try to break up the ice and everything and get people out. It is dangerous if you're not skilled to row when the water is cold. I mean, there's clearly a danger with that, and we have provisions. We call it the 4-oar rule, and you got to have a life preserver on and be out there with somebody else rather than rowing by yourself.
They say, boy, you fall in that water
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chilly.
in November or January or December, you're not gonna last long.
You're not.
Chilly,
I mean,
chilly.
even though you can be a very good swimmer, but the cold, you know, hyperthermia can come on quickly in
Yes.
cold water situation.
Definitely a dry suit situation, and
Yeah.
Now, do you have the longboats as well?
The
What do you call them, sculls?
well, yeah, we have singles. You know, we have
Yeah.
both training singles they're wide and fairly stable, but you know, people can use those for exercise. We have the racing singles that you know, are about a racing single is typically about 26 feet long and about 10 inches wide at the water line, and weighs just a little over 30 pounds.
Oh,
You know, an 8
Wow,
these
that's all it
days
weighs?
is about 60 feet long, and you know, they will weigh a little over 200 pounds. But you know, you can imagine if it's men, you can have 8 men in there that are over 200 pounds plus the coxswain, and he or she typically is around 100 pounds. But
Yeah.
a lot of weight in a boat.
yes.
the other
and-
ones
and
are
not
only
a very-
30 pounds. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
typically carbon fiber and
It's amazing how fast they go, too.
yeah. Well, there's videos of the brand boat that I was involved with was Resolute Racing Shells out of Bristol, Rhode Island at the time. They have subsequently been purchased by an Australian company, but there was a video of an 8 towing a guy on water skis, one of the MythBusters
Oh, my
shows.
God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
is
Yeah,
great.
and it wasn't for a long distance
Yeah,
or
but he
anything.
got him
but-
up.
no,
He
that's
got him
good.
up.
Yeah.
That's
That's
just getting up
amazing.
and out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So they'll go about an 8 will go probably you know, 16 knots or so, something like that.
That's
you
really
know.
moving.
Yeah, the head of the Charles, which is a 3-mile race, and it goes through bridges and curves. It'll typically take somebody a single close to 20 minutes to do it, but in an 8, you know, they'll be doing it in, you know, a little, you know, 12, 13 minutes, something like that.
Wow.
And that takes a lot of coordination, too, doesn't it? I mean, everybody has to be together.
Absolutely.
That really, that's really, that's teamwork at its best.
You know, well, it's an interesting sport because, you know, you have the soccer and the basketball, which are decision-making sports for the player.
Right.
You know, rowing is, you know, the coxswain is a decision maker, but for the people in an 8, it's just pure pain.
Repetition,
you know.
repetition,
But
repetition.
yeah, but again, the teamwork and getting all the oars to drop into the water
Yeah.
exactly the same time at the same length, and when that happens, a boat will really fly.
Yeah. It's fun to watch them. I've seen them
Yeah.
on Lake Quinsigamon.
Yeah, well, they've got a big races going on there. They call it the Snake Regatta is this weekend. It's for primarily for Division III colleges. It's typically run by the coaches at WPI, and I saw the one on Monday, and they're getting set for that.
Oh.
But there's lots of
That's this weekend.
that's this weekend, and then the 24th, 25th, and 26th is the Head of the Charles.
Oh. That's Saturday and Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, Friday morning they have events. Now they've expanded it into 3 days. And then Friday afternoon will be practice, and then all day Saturday and Sunday are races.
Bringing up the weekend, I remember I gotta make an announcement. Pet Rock is Sunday at the Lancaster Fairgrounds. If you wanna come up. And,
What is that?
Pet Rock is a event where you bring your dog, and we have musical entertainment, so that's where it's Pet Rock.
Oh, like a concert. It's a
Oh,
concert.
Pet Rock.
Yeah, Pet
I didn't know
Rock.
if you were talking about,
Like you bring your
a
pet
pet
rock.
rock.
I know, I tell them, I
Pet rock and roll, and okay.
no, they have musicals, they have, in fact, the person that was on the TV show, the one on NBC, I can't think of the name, but I don't watch it, that's why.
Oh,
Talent show,
Who's Got Talent or what? Or
yeah, something
one
like
of
that.
those.
He won
America's-
that,
American Idol,
yeah,
don't know.
and the idea of American Idol,
The Voice.
The Voice,
The Voice.
yeah. He's the lead entertainer, but they have a number of bands.
Oh, nice.
And they have all kinds of booths. And in fact, WCRN has a booth there.
And where and when again is this?
It's the Lancaster Fairgrounds,
Okay.
Lancaster
right
Fairgrounds.
off of Route 110. No, Route 61, I'm sorry, Route 61 off of 495.
Yeah.
And they have all kinds of things for pets. They have people bring all kinds of pets too. They'll come with parrots, they'll come with boa constrictors.
Oh, jeez.
You can
Might be
bring.
getting a little
Yeah,
chilly for
the
a boa
Lancaster
constrictor.
Fairgrounds opens up at Christmas time for a light show type thing.
Yes,
Is
I
that the
think
same
they do,
place
yeah.
then? Yeah, okay.
If people bring their cats, but you have to have your cat restricted, so they bring them in strollers.
Oh, like with this, I saw one of those the other day.
Baby
They have a
stroller.
little baby stroller with a zip
Yeah,
screen
big-
on it, so they can, so you can take your cat around or your little dog, or
Yeah. Yeah.
well, if they like to get out, why not? If they're
And,
stressed, maybe leave them
All
out.
all the food services are vegetarian
Oh,
because it's put on by Jeannie Hebert, is one of the founders of it. And
Hebert
it runs
Candies,
the
is it?
Blackstone Valley Chamber. And she says, we don't want to eat our pets.
Okay.
So,
well, it sounds fun. Sounds
Yeah.
like a good time.
yeah, that's this Sunday. It's quite an event, though.
I can imagine. Yeah, get up and get
So,
out. There's a
I
great.
got it announced, so I did my
There you
part.
go. You did good. But yeah, but even that, like, how fun! Like, just get up and get out. Get out of the house. Go
but
do
that's
something.
what I mean, you can't stay home and be the worst thing in the world would be a couch potato,
Yeah.
and because you're not going to last.
No, and you can't just get everything done by 10:30 and sit there for the rest of the day.
Right.
Like, you have to get up, move throughout the day, try different things, try
Yeah.
something
Let me-
new.
Let me, if you don't mind here, let me
Oh,
just go
yeah,
through
go
the
through
list
that.
of Massachusetts Senior Games events, because I can't even remember if I don't read it. So there's the skiing and the snowboard racing at Wachusett, badminton, archery, bowling, track and field, a wide variety of track and field events.
Yes.
Triathlon, racquetball, cornhole, basketball, billiards, disc golf, power walk, shuffleboard, swimming, 5K and 10K runs, triathlon, pickleball, golf, pistol, marksmanship, table tennis, regular tennis and cycling.
Nice.
Unbelievable.
I was just reading on here. So pickleball, softball, and hockey are the most popular sports, which all three have close to 200 athletes.
Yep.
Wow.
For the ski racing and snowboard racing, we typically get about 70 or 80.
Nice.
We just had in the Blackstone Valley, the Greenway Challenge. It's
What's that,
called.
Harry? Tell us about that.
It's actually bicycling, running, and walking.
Okay.
And you actually cover 3 states.
Huh,
The way they do it.
Oh,
It
Connecticut.
goes down the Blackstone Valley.
okay.
Mhm.
So you start out here, and you go down through the Blackstone Valley into Rhode Island, and you come back up, and then it goes right to where 3 states meet, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Massachusetts in the Douglas area,
Oh, right, right.
and comes back. And it's a challenge to make it.
Nice.
Canoeing, yeah, part of it, you take a bike. You have to actually prepare for it ahead of time, because you have to have some.
Oh, you
your
have to
canoe-
position the.
You have your canoe waiting for you.
Sure.
You have
and,
your bike waiting for you. Like
and your
must have
bike-
different
yeah,
stations.
a kayak, a canoe.
Hmm.
And
That's
that was done last week,
Sounds,
last weekend.
sounds like that'd be fun, yeah.
Yeah.
That's neat. All three. Yeah, I didn't even realize that all 3 states come together right
It's
there.
put together by the Whiten Community Center.
Hmm.
So it's a fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also, next year, we're gonna, you ever hear of the Pan Am Challenge? The
Pan Mass,
Pan Mass Challenge?
the bicycle race. Sure.
Yeah,
That's down by me.
yeah, well, they're gonna be coming through here,
Oh.
and they asked me if they could use our parking lot as one of their
Oh,
stations. I
Nice.
said, no problem.
So they're expanding it a little bit.
Yeah,
I used to do the massage at the at Mass Maritime when they would all go.
Yeah,
My friend
They
and
still
I.
go to Mass Marathon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
for
friend
the-
and I would do the
It
massage
starts in
at the.
Sturges
Mhm.
and goes right across the state.
Mhm.
It's quite a distance. You need a massage and travel that distance. But I'm amazed at how people do that.
Yeah, all the way to Provincetown.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, I have a good friend who does that ride every year with a group of fellows, and, you know, gets me to contribute to it a little bit, and I'm always
Yeah.
happy to do that, and, yeah, but he said he cheats a little bit from the standpoint that he's from New Hampshire, but has a house in Sandwich, so,
Oh,
you know,
Oh, so he
instead
goes
of
as-
staying at, you know, camping out at
Oh, Mass
Mass
Maritime.
Maritime like most of the folks do, he's got his wife picking him and his friends up and taking him to their, you know, they spend the night at his
So
house, and then
spoiled.
then they join the thing at Sandwich again, you
he
know.
doesn't have
Well,
to camp out.
Well,
Yeah,
and some
but
of
he's still getting
and
plenty
some
of
of the people
bicycling. in,
get on the one of the ships they have there, and they can stay in the berths. I think so.
Oh.
Like I think there's options. I don't know how you do that versus getting the little tents, but yeah, after we massaged, we stayed in a tent because we were there late, and they start picking up pretty early in the morning. All the lights go on, everything's going. You
Play
don't
Reveille?
you,
Is
you
that what
don't
happens?
get a lot of sleep. You are just getting ready to go. So yeah, it's a really cool experience. Like so many people, so many good volunteers, and yeah, it's
Yeah, that takes
Neat
quite a
event.
bit of planning and work.
oh
Put together
yeah.
all the stations and the
Yeah.
volunteers and,
Yeah, they do such a great job raising money too. Like it's really it started from a very small thing to
Yep.
a very big thing pretty quickly. So yeah, it's a great event.
great way to, to celebrate your bike riding. I see people ride. Amazing how many people, how distance they go, some of those.
They get to ride over the canal bridges. Like
Yeah.
how cool is that? Like
Yeah.
to ride over the canal bridges. Like I don't know anybody who really wants to walk over those. They take a while. But to ride over and see, go over the canal, like just amazing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and you got a great view now. Taking with a bike, you're taking your time going over.
Mm-hmm.
And they got some great bike trails down the Cape,
Oh,
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
do.
the rail trail.
the
for
old
sure.
rail trails.
Yeah, we biked the Sunshine Trail. That's at the one in Falmouth. That's amazing. That's really a nice one, all the way down to Woods Hole. And yeah.
We have new ones around us too that, you know, in Sudbury and, you know,
Yes,
they've,
great
you know,
trail in
they were gravel for quite a while, and now they've just recently paved them. The only thing they haven't done is the crossing things, the way you see down on the Cape and some of the areas.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're all brand-new asphalt, and,
Wow.
you know, they're connecting all over the place. It's
Yeah.
pretty neat.
Well, I was on a group, we're trying to work out the Blackstone Valley bikeway that's gonna run from Worcester to Providence.
Okay?
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
they've got it finished coming out of Worcester into Millbury, because when they did 146 over, they did it.
Mhm.
They've got it down now, Rhode Island is pretty much done. And they've got it coming into Blackstone up to Millville. Now, the hardest part is from Millville to Millbury, because it's narrow, it's not a lot of area. We had to map it out. We mapped it out in Northbridge, we're gonna have, part of it, you have to go on the road. Unfortunately, but we had no choice, because there's just no room. And the railroad's a problem. Because the railroad follows exactly the same area. And they don't want you near, the railroad doesn't want you near the railroad, obviously.
Right.
And we got some railroad crossings we have to handle. But what a great thing, I said, you'll have people able to commute. We have a lot of people who commute from Rhode Island. You'll be able to commute up here on a bike path. You get one of those electric bikes, wouldn't be that bad.
Wouldn't be that bad, because those things hum.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
be tough in the winter, but
Well, even if you're just driving your
But, you know,
car part of the
a
time.
lot of
and-
people use that, they walk it. It's a great walking path, too.
All those bike paths are like that, for
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they just finished one in Mattapoisett from, I think, actually, is it Mattapoisett? I think it starts Mattapoisett and goes all the way to New Bedford. So that's, and it's beautiful. It's like around,
Yeah.
over the water, and, yeah, it's really,
Yeah, it's nice scenery as well. We stayed down at Cape a number of years ago with the kids, and we took the path in Dansport. Goes into Provincetown.
Yep.
We didn't make it up to the dunes, but we're going quite a distance.
that, yeah.
I also went along the canal. That's a nice trip, too. Took the
Yeah.
Boy Scouts there. Had a great time.
Yep.
My younger years when I could do a bicycle.
Oh my gosh, I biked the canal. It's one time we were biking, and it's such a beautiful ride. So we're tootling doodle doo. We get to the end, and then we're biking back, and the wind was blowing at us. And you're like, oh my, what happened? You know, like it was so hard biking back. we were getting out the bike and walking. Like you just couldn't pedal into the, like it was
No,
just
no.
so strong.
That canal creates a Venturi effect, and if you got it coming up the,
Yes.
you know, the area, you know, on that side, yeah, it's really windy.
It was, yeah, it was definitely a challenge. Down
That's a
so
beautiful
easy.
trip because it's nice and wide. That roadway is nice and wide,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Yes, it is. I love being down there.
And no cars. That's the best part.
Right? You just have to watch out for the rollerbladers.
Yes. What we're finding now, the state is very dedicated to building bike pathways on the main roads.
Yeah, you can see that, you know, they've recently done a lot of relining in the Marlboro
Yes.
area, and, you know, specifically making sure that there is space on the edges there for the bikers.
Yes.
You know what I noticed? I was in Boston, and they actually had the car parking lines where, like, off the curb, and the bike lane was on the curb.
Okay,
So it was almost like the parking cars were kind of protecting the bike lane
Yeah.
and
Oh,
separating
not a bad
them
idea.
Yeah.
from the traffic.
Not a bad idea.
Which the only time I would think that would be bad is if you're getting out of your car and you're not looking and you open
Yeah.
door.
well, but most of the
But-
time it'd
but
be
I-
the driver getting out of the car, you know, so
Right,
you're right,
right.
as a passenger, you gotta be paying attention.
Gotta
as
be
a-
paying attention.
And the bike riders want to be paying attention.
But I was kind of blown away. Like I hadn't seen that before. I think
That's
that
a
was
great
pretty
idea.
cool.
Oh, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
We'll go, okay,
The hour
well,
went
Well,
by.
thank you so much for having us
yeah,
on.
thanks for
Yes,
having us
you wanna
again,
give your
Harry.
information for contact once again?
Sure.
Well, Massachusetts Senior Games, just Google that and get on our website and get all the information about the events and the schedules and lots of great photos of previous events too. And
And if
we'd
you-
like you to see you in those photos next year.
That's
Yeah,
right,
and
Harry.
even if you don't participate, you can go up and be a spectator,
Sure.
Yeah.
see some
Anybody,
great entertainment.
anybody wants to sponsor, that information works just as well too. I'm on sponsorship committee, so
There you go.
bring it on in.
Yeah.
And then at moxiemobilitytraining.com, that's our website. Kathy at moxiemobilitytraining.com is our email. Feel free to reach out.
And real quick,
And we
you-
should
you
probably
will-
mention our premier sponsor, Blue Cross, Massachusetts Blue Cross Blue Shield,
yes.
as well as Springfield College. So.
Yes, thank
You'll
you so
see
much.
clients online.
I can do virtually as well as in
Yes,
person.
so you
Yes.
don't have to drive all the way down to the South Shore to see,
No, and this time of year too, with the holidays coming up, we're launching a travel prep program. So whether it's a big trip or a small trip, if, just if you're finding you can't travel for the holidays or are afraid to go to people's houses because you might not be able to get up the stairs or unfortunately off the toilet, that's something we can help you get stronger
Yeah.
to do that. So we
and you
can,
can do that virtually.
I can do that virtually. Yes.
All right, well, thank you for coming in.
Well,
Thanks
so
for
much,
having
Harry.
us.
Always
Yeah.
fun. Thank you.